He is behind bars.
I know. However, that doesn't mean it wasn't impossible to do what he did.
What?
Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. It could have been yesterday. It could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago. Or perhaps it was 7 years ago.
But Christopher Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable.
Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christopher Gavin's own younger brother doesn't fit inconceivable at all.
Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christopher Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has myself swallowed even myself. I don't even know what he said there. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christopher Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christopher Gavin, currently receiving in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison.
Ah, Your Honor, how nice to see you again.
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
To what do I owe that pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never.
I think you already know, Mr. Christopher Gavin.
Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself.
Well, I feel like somehow he's still my boss.
Step up your lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Jeez. Does this bottle look familiar?
Aerodani nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear.
She's not dead yet.
And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish.
Her taste, indeed. The nail polish was Vera Martian was poisoned.
Atropine, was it?
All informed about the case, Mr. Gavin.
Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing but to do but read. Well, Clavier? Maybe you can explain this.
You're being accused again. By him again.
Ah, and you agree with this accusation, do you?
Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christopher Gavin, your testimony, please.
I'd be delighted.
The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Marsham. Please testify to the matter at the court. Poisoning Vera.
Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds she poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely.
Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Martians. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice?
Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christopher Gavin, my ex-boss, but I know he poisoned the Marshams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why?
Poisoning Vera. Alright. Go to where he says surely you weren't suspecting me of poisoning Mr. Marsham as well. Yeah, go to where he says that. It's a rather long testimony. Shut up, Christoph. Surely you aren't gonna guess that I was responsible for poisoning your father too. Okay, bracelet.
Drag it down to his hand. Never mind. Right there. If you look, you can see a little devil face appear. See, right there. So, we're gonna say it together. 3, 2, 1. Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Marsham.
A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright.
Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your head transcends unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news.
And let's assume, for the sake of the argument, that you saw me being tense? What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Marsham found from nail polish too?
Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. And you don't need nail polish to get in someone's mouth.
Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Marsham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, I don't know what is.
But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Marsham.
Well, the stamp. And we're gonna say it together once again. 3, 2, 1. Take that!
I'm sure this ceremony of stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Marsham died, he was seen writing a letter. And the coin was found in the stamp, Mr. Gavin.
So I am to understand the stamp was the murder weapon?
Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. That is all, Your Honor.
Order! 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 Poison on the back of the stamp?
After Drew Marsham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell, Phoenix Wright.
Daddy?
That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Marsham write you a letter. That's how you killed him.
What?
My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brucial's testimony. Well, that's the thing, see? After we put the letter in the envelope, Mr. Marsham sat there searching his desk drawer for something.
His desk drawer?
Yes, a stamp, a so-called postage stamp. End quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp.
What are you getting at?
What I'm arriving at is that the ceremonial stamp was in a frame. It was a mere coincidence that he used it that night.
That would seem to be the case.
Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence.
He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What?
Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through the weak mind bluffs by now.
He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Marsham would use that stamp that night? He saw Christopher Gavin locked away in a cell.
Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place? I believe the defense's bluff has been called.
The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph.
Clavier?
Honestly, I wanted to believe you. But the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph.
But what are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Half our head. What was your accusation again?
Huh? Oh, it was that.
This poison stamp killed your Martian, ja? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Martian would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Martian died by that stamp. That's all.
Coincidence?
Christoph, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it?
What are you up to, Clavier?
I could ask you the same thing, Christoph.
I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficacy.
But Mr. Gavin, that's irremissible testimony.
Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice.
What?
You accuse me of Drew Marsham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter?
Apollo, motive. He's talking about a motive.
Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now there's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid of with a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean?
It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not most vital element in the case. Please consider this when making your statement.
I'd say about this vital.
That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice? I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Now let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Marsham?
First, I want to try this.
Take that.
Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Marsham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Marsham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifico Mari's diary?
When Attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes? This was the evidence he presented to his loss.
This evidence is fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request a forgery he made behind? It was proven.
The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they?
Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Marsham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was no other than the poison ceremonial stamp. Drew Marsham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old.
7 years old?
The client who requested the forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase everything and anyone with connections to the forgery. To keep them from talking? But he made a mistake.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within the glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years.
Hair forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forgery diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding those two statements together with the one who schemed to kill Drew Marsham. Well, none other than Phoenix Wright.
Sorry, but that's not how it's gonna go down.
Oh? Then how will it go down?
I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. Just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair.
And one more thing.
I'm sorry to have sprung on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you.
Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet.
All we did was play cards. And that was enough.
Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery.
The day before?
Now here's the question. Just who was Jenny Egmar's previous defense attorney?
No, this can't all be...
But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christopher Gavin.
Order! But what is the meaning of this? Witness, I mean defendant, former lawyer.
Let me be by denying this.
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin.
And impossible to prove you if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim?
That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Hair forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks calmly. Evidence. Evidence to show this man, Christopher Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Javier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. You must have thought of some evidence, Apollo.
Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain, not darkness. I have to pull the darkness out of him, and the proof is the only way I can. What proves Christopher Gavin linked to Drew Marsham?
Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christopher Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Marsham 7 years ago. Prove it.
It can be proven.
Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not... Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice?
I am.
Then, I say we give him the benefit of his doubt.
Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Your Honor, you do the defense injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly pleasant about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion?
I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice?
Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christopher Gavin to Drew Marsham. And I have something that clearly does the job.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between the witness and Drew Marsham.
Brian?
Sorry about that. Present the letter from Marsham.
Take that.
This evidence proves there's a link.
That scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Is there some problem?
There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.